The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Hi, Pep. When you decided to go for Sanchez last summer, was that because it was specifically him, or because you did think you needed more in your attack?
Yeah, when we believe to decide to pick a place to improve the squad. Yeah.
So is it still the case that you believe, because obviously City got the best attack in Europe, I think, this season, but you still believe it can improve?
Yeah. we saw it last Sunday, Saturday.
Scored 3 goals.
We conceded 4. Yeah.
So it would be fair to say that in the summer that would be an area to address.
I don't know. In summer and winter, we know. So if at the end we decide to go to the market and buy 1 or 2 players, or 3 or 4 or 5, will be for the next 4 players. So the players going to buy, if finally we buy some players in the winter, we are not going to buy in summer. So we just anticipate it. If we believe we need the players, to anticipate it month. So the players, we feel we need to invest in summertime 3 or 4 players. If we do it now, we are not going to do it in summer. In summer will be unlock. We're going to have a long summer in that situation.
You've often said that when you watch a match, you're like a fan as well. You want to enjoy it. Could you enjoy Sunday?
No.
No. Obviously, you lost, but is that the only reason you couldn't enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it as a spectacle? Because I think most people would probably say it was the best game of the season.
But if that happened, I'm so happy. So at the end, it's for the players. But of course, in 9 minutes, we dropped the game, and it will be a good lesson for the future to improve, to know the opponents are good, really good. In the Premier League, in the FA, in the FA, in the Champions League, in all competitions, and we can consider goals to be stable after that, and it will be a good a good lesson. But of course, we didn't give up again. We tried until the end. We had the last chance in the free kick, and I reviewed the game. It was quite good. Just in the short period, like the quality the Jurgen Klopp teams, Anfield, always can happen, and we will improve on that.
Would you welcome more teams to play like that against you? Because we've seen a lot of teams sit back, but obviously if teams go forward...
I don't know, but what I guess will be teams that play like Liverpool, and the teams will play completely opposite like Liverpool. It happened in the past, these 18 months together, it's going to happen in the future. So it depends on the managers and of us as well.
Assuming that Gabriel's back next month from his injury, do you think having both he and Sergio, will that be enough to see you through until the end of the season as the striking options?
To be together?
Yeah.
To play together?
Not to play together, but those 2 being your only 2 options.
Yeah. We have the 2 strikers. We don't need another one in that position. Of course, players can play in that position. For different circumstances, for the way we want to play, especially for the opponents, how they defend. But to buy just a striker, you only can play there, that is not going to happen.
So do you see Raheem maybe playing there more often, and how much pressure does that put on him if he's playing as the main striker more often?
He played there in Old Trafford, so he can play in that position in the summertime, in our pre-season in the States. He played there. He play 5 in the back. He played in a striker, so he can play in that position. About the pressure, he showed me he can handle that pressure without a doubt, without problems. So it's not his striker position. It's more winger, number 10, telephone number, like position there. But it's like a striker. We are going to go to the market to buy, like Sergio and Gabriel play in that position. That is not going to happen.
Manchester City are sometimes accused of paying too much for players in the transfer market, but the fact that you said no in the Sanchez negotiations show that the club, do have a line that they will not be taken advantage of if they feel that a price is too much.
No, the market is the market. So I understand the teams play more than 200 millions or 100 millions, or it's a market. So it's the only I can say is the more expensive players. But Man City was 70 or 70 with Kevin De Bruyne. The problem is we spent a lot because we could change the squad. It was the oldest squad in the Premier League. It would change it, and that's happened not in one transfer window. We need more time. Normally, the wages we try to be stable in the wage of the players, because I think it's good for the team and for the stability for the club. And when we spent in the past, it was the players with between 50 today. Years ago it was 20, 30 millions. Now it's the 50 millions, 50, 55, 60. So in the past, what that club did, it was in that price. Maybe in the future, that club is going to spend for one player more than 100 millions. Like most important teams they did in the recent past. But but we need to change the squad. And of course, what happened in the last summer, everything increased amazingly, and you have to adapt on that if you want to stay there. All the clubs did in the past, and they are going to do in the future. I think the price in the summertime will be higher and higher than this winter transfer, and I think in choose summer transfer will be higher and higher. So try to be anticipated. Sometimes if we are able to do that, and of course do the best for the club. So my period in Barcelona, my period in Munich, now here, I never push the pressure to the players or to the club to say I want that players when the club believes it's too much. When they say it's too much, immediately I accept that decision and move forward to find another solution, because the stability of the club is the most important thing. So we spend a lot of money, we cannot deny it, because we had to change a lot of players, because we were so old in terms of the players who did in the past was amazing, winning Premier Leagues or something like this, and that's why what it is.
Is it unfair, Pep? You just went through some of the spend. Is it unfair that Manchester United or Manchester are perceived as being the big spenders, yet there's Manchester United, there's Liverpool have spent more on a single player than you have, and as if the Sanchez deal go through, it's even more?
When Man United, Liverpool, the other clubs in Europe do what they do, I respect. So I never say anything, I'm not going to say anything what they do, because they know that reality. So it's true when Manchester City from Abu Dhabi people took over the team, of course in that period they spent a lot in that, but the more expensive player is Kevin De Bruyne. And when you see now reality, so a lot of players, now the clubs spend much more, but just for one or two players. But we did the same for amount of money for 4 or 5 or 6 players. So at the end, what we spent this summer with United, it was quite similar, but they bought, I think, 2 or 3 players, and we bought 6 or 7. So that was the difference. So there it is. But the way we spend, everyone decide what is the best for their clubs, and I'm not going to judge, because if you want to compete and to be there in all competitions, we need top players. And today the top players. So the managers, we are good or not good, it depends on the quality of our players. Forget about it, of our positions. And to compete with the rest of the clubs in Europe, in the world, you need to buy players. And today the players, before it was 30 millions, today is 60. So it's what it is. So hopefully it will be less, it will not be like this, but it's what it is.
Before the Liverpool game, Kyle Walker said that you sent the players out again with no instructions at all, even set pieces, just completely blank slate for them to come up with the answers themselves. Is that to help them understand better what they need to do within a game if the opposition changes tactics? Or
no,
that kind of thing?
But I did it in the past, in my past in all clubs, and now here we played 31st and after 2. We were exhausted, and I believe to give more information to the players was necessary in that moment. Because in that moment, after drop points, is not to say what we have done bad when we have 2 days, less than 48 hours to play another game. And when I said, guys, because at the end, even tomorrow, in the future, in the past, in the future, all the success we had in the past so far, and it would happen in the future, they are the artists. Depends on them, not on us. We are there just to help them. And in that situation, I decide to do that. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the future is going to do again.
You normally give them quite a lot of instruction, though.
Sorry?
You normally give them quite a lot of instruction, though, and analysis of where to stand and who to look out for. But on that occasion,
sometimes my instruction is longer, sometimes it's shorter. It depends on what I believe, what I feel. It's not a book to say every time I have to say that. Sometimes my instructions is shorter, longer. Sometimes I make 2 meetings, sometimes 3. Sometimes meetings are 20 minutes, sometimes 6 minutes. It depends what I feel.
And just earlier you said about buying players, you want to bring in happy players. Is it the case that the players you sign, and maybe with Alexis, they need to be 100% committed to coming to City? Is that part of the deal?
No. No. I think the players who decide to move on another club is because they are completely committed what they have to do in terms of the salary, in terms of they want to be, they want to live, the family. If they do that, they move on and they are not completely committed, it's a mistake for the player and for the manager and for the club as well. So it's not. So I respect the decision a lot for the players. So when they decide to move on, and it's not the first time it happened in my career, when I want to play, decide to move on another one, it's going to happen in the future. So there are more than other circumstances to be together. So they decide to go there or whatever, so well done, no problem.
Okay, cheers guys.
You too.